Hey guys, sorry I didn't do a video last week. I actually got the car out for a little while. I was having a little bit of fun. A lot of questions, comments about gtechniq coatings we use. This is going to be a general overview of coatings. Uh, as here, we use CSL and EXO and C1 crystal lacquer. Why I went with gtechniq? I did about 2 months research. I turned down OptiCoat and Geon. I'll probably later get back into those. But gtechniq's been around for a long time, over 10 years. The ease and application of the product, that's why I like them too. The resistance from marring and scratching is there. Like I said, I'm not going to go into full, huge details. Just what I'm happy with the product. And that's what you use. Some people like Geon, some people like OptiCoat, some like Wasabi. There's a bunch of coatings out there, and it depends on what you like to use and what results you get with. I am extremely happy with gtechniq. I used a lower consumer grade for a while. Wasn't as happy with it. Didn't have as much resistance as I thought it was to. But general overview, this is a 5-year coating system. The Crystal Serum Light by itself technically has 5 years, but we put 2 coats of EXO over it. That will give you an ultra hydrophobic finish and a deep gloss and warmth to it. Basically what you're doing is you're creating your main crystal serum is your main layer. Then you're putting 2 coats of EXO over top of it, and that gives you a sacrificial layer so you don't get down to and ruin the base coat. Like I said, I'm not going to go into huge details. But that's all you're doing. Like I said, and you're creating with what we use on these two. And like I said, C1, they're crystal lacquer composites, the cores. You'll hear nano coatings and everything else, but Crystal Serum Light and C1 both have 5 years generated through me. Like I said, 2 layers of EXO, and like I said, your EXO is the extra ultra hydrophobic coating, and they'll give you more depth and warmth and gloss to it. CSL does an amazing job by itself, but coating with EXO 2 is also amazing. But like I said, what you're doing is you're putting a crystal lacquer composite across its hardness, pretty much 9H, which is up to basically pencil grade tinsel, whatever you want to call it. There's a bunch of bullshit around it. But coatings in general, like I said, this is our 5-year. It is a wonderful product, extremely mar and scratch resistant, ultra hydrophobic. C1 also is, and C1 you can use on matte finishes. It won't give it a. That's what you have to watch with matte finishes, where like EXO and Crystal Serum Light, they'll put a gloss to them, and most people don't want that. You want to remain flat. C1 will work on flat paint and stripes and all that stuff. We also do C2V3, which is up to 8 months of protection, which is a very easy application of spray on, wipe off. I use it on my car all the time. But like I said, I went with them. The ease of application, the products are backed, they're great warranty, and they work. Let's get into basically, it's just what I use. Like I said, I have more information here. I have pamphlets. It's best to stop in and just talk to me. It's easier, so I don't have to make a huge long video of going over everything and bore people with it later on. I do have full pamphlets, everything through gtechniq that I can give you. You can go to, you can see on the back, gtechniq.com for more information that way. Like I said, they were my choice. I took about 2 months or more to research which company I wanted to go with, and I finally decided on them. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the other coatings. It depends on what you want to use and what you want to do and everything else. I turned down OptiCoat and I decided not to go Geon because of the multiple levels of stuff they have. To me, like I said, this is needed application, 2-part process. And like I said, we just don't apply the coatings. Everybody thinks, well, you can just apply it. It's a brand new car. No, we don't do that. Everything has to be inspected, looked over, polished out. What we can get out of the paint and everything else before we apply them. Basic general consensus of coatings. You'll hear, like I said, you'll hear composites, quartz, nano. They're all good coatings. Everybody has their problems and everything else. Just depending on. That's why they're backed by a warranty. You know, everybody will get into what they like to use. As long as you're happy with what you use and you're getting the customers the results they want and the protection they need, use it. I'm not biased just to them. I was just very happy with what they use, the application, and the pricing for the products to me is really, really good. And I can keep y'all's prices down to us is what is a fair amount and not go ridiculous into, you know, over and over and over pricing of something. So that's why we went with them. But like I said, great warranty back through the company, through me. Like I said, you'll see a few of them around. Like I said, I try not to bullshit through everything. I just try to simply explain it. That's why every coating has a warranty with it, because at some point one is messed up or something's failed. It's normal. That's why there's a warranty. You know, and there's nothing permanent. When they say permanent coatings, then you wouldn't give them a timeline of where to expire. You know, that's why there's a 5 year, up to 5 year, up to 7, up to 9, which gtechniq does have a 7 to 9 also, which I've got one bottle of it, but I don't push it that much because most extent of most people's life vehicles are 5 to 6 years. So there's no point in going any farther than that. And it's a good price, honestly, for the amount of work we put into one normal. Like I said, you can see all this stuff, people throwing a bucket of water on them with mud in them and all this stuff. Yeah, that's the ultra hydrophobic properties of most coating. Of course it's going to run off. That's the point. You just throw a bucket of water and it's going to run off because it's got force behind it. And like I said, when you get into rain and everything, it's all depending on what you'll see later and you'll see in the books, that the contact angle, 110 to 120 degrees and all this stuff. And you're going to have water still set on the car as it rains and everything. It's not just going to completely run off of it and be dry sitting there in the rain. That's why I don't do any more of these videos pouring water on them and watching it run off. You can do it with wax, honestly. You know, especially some of the high-ender wax like the Crystal Wax and the Swiss Fox. So you know, there's no point in. I've done a couple of those videos before. Like I said, it just depends on contact angle and everything else of your runoff. Is it a lot easier? Yes. The water, you know, it can rain, you can go drive down the road, and the airflow will just literally push the water off really, really easily. But like I said, you'll see all these people just chucking buckets of water and dirt on them. And is it going to resist everything? No. As in, like, eating through the coating, yes, that's the point of coatings. But, like, people think mud's just not going to stick to me. Everything's going to stick to a coating. But what it boils down to is the easiness of maintaining it. How easy it is to wash. You know, instead of me having to scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub to get stuff, a pressure washer or a simple hose can wash off the dirt and mud of it. But like I said, you'll see a bunch of stuff out there, and it goes a little crazy sometimes. But the thing is, as long as your customer's happy with the coating you use, you're getting the results from what they say you have. You know, your mar and scratch resistance and everything else. Use it. Like I said, I don't back down any company or anything like that. Long as that company puts out a product that works and people are happy with it. But like I said, you've got to realize that's why there's a warranty with a product. Stuff has failed, stuff has went wrong, but that's why we're accredited and other people are accredited and everything else in all our coatings. None of them are bad. It's like I said, it's just depending on what price range you want to pay for, what you're looking for in results, longevity. Most all everybody's getting about the same longevity now. But just keep that in mind, guys. Use common sense that you're going to have issues at one point in time. That's why there's a warranty. And like I said, we back ours. If there's any issues, it's a free fix. No issues at all with us. We won't argue. We won't fight you. We will simply fix the problem and help maintain the coating. And another thing to get into is maintenance of coatings. Everybody's like, well, you don't have to wax it and everything. You don't. An instant detail, most companies make their own boosters or instant detailers, or as in what we use in maintenance washes for the gtech is the C2B3. You create another layer of sacrifice, not to get down to the base coating. It's always good to do that. And that's basically what you're doing with all the other ones. Proper maintenance is key. The pH levels they resist, everything else depending on company, what you're wanting. And most like with gtechniq of what I've seen and what I've dealt with is it's ultra, like I said, industrial fallout I've had no issue with. Acid rain, no problems. Bird dropping's been no problems on it. Not ate through the coating, no nothing. But like I said, just general consensus of why I chose that. Like I said, I love their ease of access. It's easy to apply. The price is really generous for us. Um, Compared to most some of the coatings, I'm not $300-400 into a coating set and having to charge you, out the gate initially $2,000 or anything. Great product, great price, and we back it, and so does the company. Um, but everything has to be paint corrected and everything before. Um, I've lost some business because I'm not. When I used the other product, I was doing them in sometimes a day to 2 days because everybody kept, wanting to rush me. I do not do that anymore, and I've lost some business because everybody's like, "Well, they said they can do it in 2 days." Well, go for it. I'm not. The minimum I always say is 2 days, but that is when I've known I'm expected to paint, and I've known that I can do it in that time, and there's no issue with the paint. Like small spot repairs, stuff like that, nothing major. But some of these vehicles, you know, the most of the time the minimum will be 3 to 4, and normal time will be a week or longer on the major ones. That gives me time to look everything over, take time to do it right, and not to rush anything. And that's the thing. If you want it back, and sometimes I'm sorry, but I prefer to have it at least a minimum of 3 to 4. Unless I've known, I've inspected the vehicle, I've seen it, and I've known that it is pretty much almost perfect, and all I've got to do is spot it and fix a couple little small issues, which is a very rare occasion here. Because these cars, when you get into paint condition, you'll get these cars that everybody's like, they're brand new. Doesn't mean shit. You'll get these cars sitting on these lots, they're getting, from traffic, they're getting fallout on them, they're getting dust, they're getting just crap from all over the roads blown all over them. Then you're getting these guys that they don't know how to wash them, maintain them, sitting on a lot, and they're just getting washed and washed and washed and washed. Like, you'll have a customer come and look at one, they'll wash it up, he don't take it, it goes back to being dirty. Somebody else wants to come look at it, it's dirty, they wash it again. It's overwash, and they're not protected from factory. So people think being a brand new car, there's nothing in them. Wrong. You'll find a lot of stuff. I mean, I have inspected some high-end cars that have literally had like 10 to 12 miles on them that were gutted. Been sitting on lots and being washed and people fingering them and messing with them. You're going to get stuff no matter what. Now, some of the stuff you'll see online and stuff, they get a direct delivery of a car, and sometimes there's not. But in general consensus around West Virginia and around what we do, it's very rare that happens. You've got to realize these cars get on trains, they get on shipping containers, they're on tractor trailers, they're getting stuff blown into them, dust, force winds, rain, just crap all over them. Very rare that you do get one around this area that has not have some problem with it, unless the dealership has already went through and done it, which is very rare. You just have to, pretty much what we do is we need to bring it in and inspect the paint, or give me the time with it. Like I said, I will not do them in a day or 2 days. Don't ask me. If you find another person that will, then you can go to them. We like to take the time with one. Like I said, in the past, I have rushed them and have, been here all night doing them. I will not do that anymore. I have found that you get tired, your eyes get tired, you start worrying about missing something even more. Is somebody gonna miss something once in a while? Yeah, we're human beings. We miss shit. It's normal. But to give us the time with the vehicle to do it properly and right, like I said, depending on the age of the vehicle and what's going on with the paint. Like I said, the F-150 that I posted the other day, I had for over about around a week. I had 20 some hours in just polishing on it, and I ended up about 85, 87-ish%, somewhere in that area with it, because there was just some stuff in some areas that I could not get out. They were too deep, and stuff's just going to be a pain sometimes. That being, it was a 5-year-old vehicle with 100-some thousand miles. To get that out of that vehicle being that color, it yielded great results, and the customer was extremely, extremely, extremely happy with it. He'll actually be bringing the vehicle back here shortly. He got a set of wheels and tires for it, and we'll be coating the wheels. Um, yeah, like I said, I don't know. I just going over some stuff, telling you what's going on. Gtechniq is my go-to. There is plenty of other coatings out there. I can get information on them too, and I can help you out with something. I mean, if you're unhappy with what you think can be what or whatever, I can recommend you to somebody else. Which, you know, it's weird for some people. Like, why would you do that? I try to make customers happy, and if that's what you need to shoot for, is making the customer happy. I'm not going to lie to you about coatings and this and that, and their coating sucks and this sucks. I mean, some of the stuff you'll see online, you can kind of figure out that they don't last. You know, why would you pay $300 for a gallon of spray on that you don't need to? That gets a little ridiculous. But like I said, I went with gtechniq. The coatings they're affordable coatings. They're not too high. And I'll probably do price listing here in a second. Before I was using a different coating, so the prices were a little bit lower because that coating was a little bit less and more affordable to us. This coating, like I said, is still extremely affordable. You can purchase it offline yourself. AutoGeek and a few others sell them, or you can actually go straight through gtechniq and order. But the main thing is, when we do one, you're paying for the coating, you're paying for the time, the materials, and there's a lot of time in some of them. It just depends on what you're wanting to do. Like I said, I don't turn down anybody's coatings. I don't try to be mean about them. I'm not going to lie to you about them. I went with this coating because I'm happy with the results that I get, and the customers are too. Happy with the mar and scratch resistant on it. Like I said, use what makes you happy. Sorry, little thing on the phone. But like I said, it's all in general what you want to use. My opinion. Get mad at it if you want to. I don't care. This is what I'm happy with these coatings, and the customers are. So use what makes you happy. Like I said, I will not be doing it. Don't ask me to do them in a day or 2 days. Not happening anymore. That was previous before when I was using the other coating. Like I said, the minimum will probably be 3 to 4 days anymore. I know that's hard for some people, but I'm not going to rush results and rush anything anymore. So expect the vehicle to be here at least 3 to 4 or longer. And everybody's like, well, you're not working on it yet. Yes, I am. I am busy. We are busy. Mr. Wheeler's tinting. He's answering phones too. I'm answering phone calls. I'm answering internet questions. Tony's always doing something with details. My father's always running back and forth with phone calls and stuff. So please give us the time with the vehicle. Like I said, we like to make the customer happy as we can. Do we miss shit once in a while? Yeah, we're human. Like I said. So, general consensus on that. CSL and EXO. Full 5 year. Actually can be lightly longer too if you're properly maintained. Like I said, everybody has their boosters, their spray waxes, their stuff for the coatings. We actually have 2, which is spray wax, or we have the CB23, which is up to 8 months of protection also. Like I said, just depending on where you're wanting to go with it. I don't know. Just doing a fun little video. And it's drawn on. Pricing, EXO by itself is an 18 to 24. Some people call 2 to 3. If it's properly maintained. We do a yearly with the CB23, or I do with the product I have called Titanium. And I'll do another video on that real quick in pricing. But general consensus video on what coating to use and why. Do what you make you happy. Use who you want that makes you happy. Like I said, I don't put anybody's coatings down until I try them. And like I said, from the results from OptiCoat and Gion and Wasabi, Polish Angel's got a bunch. I mean, there's a bunch of coatings out there. Like I said, while they have a warranty, shit happens. Any questions, comments, give me a call, hit me up online. And like I said, I'm not downing anybody's anything else, just as this is what I'm happy with using, and I'm happy very with the results. So the customers, use what makes you happy. It's always nice. I'll do another video here probably in a few minutes on pricing list on this, and pricing list throughout the shop. Then I was thinking about just catching up on videos today, and doing another one on contamination of where it comes from and how it does. So thanks, guys.